...2008, and we had heard the rumblings all year about a pretty special baseball player out in Langley. And his name was Brett Lawrie, and of course now he's the starting third baseman with the Toronto Blue Jays. And talk about the competitive spirit of his older sister Danielle. Earlier in this segment, Brett brought the same qualities to the photo studio that day. I remember his dad Russ came in, they had a whole bunch of bats, and Brett was taking him in front of the camera and showing us that swing at an early age, so advanced that he was picked 16th overall in the 2008 Major League Baseball draft. In fact, Brett came in for his photo shoot, then was drafted into the MLB, and then the head of the class section came out. So we put, you know, his future aspirations, professional baseball, and he's lived up to that. It's been an incredible climb, the highest Canadian position player ever taken in the Major League Baseball draft, and so proud that he too is part, you know, of head of the class. And Brett Lawrie was a great athlete throughout his high school career. I think whatever sport he picked, he would have done so well at, and do remember him as well being a very, very, very good basketball player, but baseball was always the #1 sport for Brett. And of course, so much of these chapters yet to be written with Brett Lawrie, one of the top young players in all of Major League Baseball. We are going to go to 2009 now and talk about a very, very famous athlete, especially stateside this year, Kelly Olynyk from South Kamloops Secondary School in 2009. Kelly has always been a huge guy, obviously, you know, being 6'11", 7 feet tall on the basketball court. Everyone's going to remember him, and he did so well over his high school career with South Kamloops, especially when they got to the provincial championships. Kelly, it was amazing, led the BC Boys AAA Championships in 2009 in scoring, rebounding, and assists. And he tied for the tournament lead in block shots. And I said at the time it was the greatest single performance by any athlete in the history of the BC Boys AAA basketball tournament. And I don't think anyone is ever going to top that. It was so amazing. Kelly then went on to a career at Gonzaga University, and this past year just literally skyrocketed to fame. He was finally able to get the minutes he wanted coming off of a redshirt season, and he really showed the entire country in the U.S. what he was capable of doing. It's led to him declaring after his junior season to come out and declare himself eligible for the NBA draft. So 1 year after having Rob Sacre picked, there is a great chance, obviously, that Kelly Olynyk is going to be a very, very high NBA draft pick, but he's obviously risen to great heights and handled all of the fame and all of that kind of stuff so well. So Kelly Olynyk, ready to be drafted in the NBA in June, and a member of head of the class in 2009. 2009, a real special year for high school football in the province of British Columbia, especially as it pertained to head of the class, because Baseko Lakambo from W.J. Mowat Secondary School in Abbotsford was one of the most prolific running backs we'd ever seen in the history of BC high school football. But when he went to the University of Oregon, that powerhouse south of the line, they decided everything that he had best suited a position on defense. So Baseko became a full-time linebacker. He's now set to enter his senior year at the University of Oregon. They will again be one of the top-ranked teams in all of NCAA Division I football. And I think the interesting note this year is Baseko's a senior, and many people are saying, hey, he has a chance to be drafted in the NFL draft. And of course, we just had the 2013 NFL draft. I know Baseko, very excited over the next year, wants to have a good season, put himself in position for a potential career in the NFL. And of course, the CFL really has already noticed him and has him as their #1 ranked player. Baseko Lakambo, the linebacker, always smiling. Brought his dad, Leon, into the studio for his photo shoot, and I can still remember, I said, why don't the two of you guys get in front of the camera there? And Leon had the big cowboy hat on, he goes out and hugs his son. Great to see the pride the parents take in their kids being part ahead of the class, and it's a memorable photo. I do remember that one very, very well, and Baseko Lakambo obviously has some great things lying ahead of him on the football field. So we're going to start counting down the days to head of the class. As we mentioned off the top, June the 17th is the publication date. Head of the Class 2013, our 14th annual edition. We certainly hope you will Pick up a copy of the paper that day to look at it. Lots of stuff happening online as well. A number of different platforms and a number of other athletes, valedictorians, Coach of the Year, Adversity Athlete of the Year. We try to cover the whole spectrum. And I'll tell you, sitting down here today to try and pick 10, you don't do justice to the entire class of ahead of the class alums, because there's so many talented people. I can go through names like Mike Mason, Curtis Moss, Billy Green, Mark Trazzolini, Eugene Wong, Philip Scrubb, Lamar Durant, Christian Covington. That's just the guys that some of them that we could not put in the top 10, or we very well could have. Their accomplishments as well have been incredible. Same for the girls. There's been a few hundred head of the class alums over 13 previous seasons. We follow them all. We're going to be profiling them in the week leading up to head of the class. So a real celebration of high school sports and university sports here at the province. We like to think we do it the best right here at Province Sports, and we hope you'll take part, read the stuff, and look at the amazing athletes that are being produced in the province of British Columbia every year.